My guests are seated. We're going to have an interesting conversation this morning. There are so many topics that we have to delve in and deal with. I have seated on my right Margaret Ansei Magoo. She's a National Communications Team member for the NDC. Good morning, Margaret.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
All right. It's good to have you here. It's been a while.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
And to you too. Okay. And then I also have Joyce Zempare, who is a Deputy Director of Communications of the MPP. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing well. Yourself?
All right, fantastic. I haven't hosted you before.
No.
No? Yeah, it's good. It's good to have you here. Fantastic. Well, let's begin our conversation by delving into the topics we have for the day. We'll start with the issue of the fight against galamsey. All right. And let me quickly just read couple of stories to you and then position the conversation and then we'll go. All right. So let me start with the special prosecutor petitioned to probe alleged corruption in galamsey fight. All right. The Alliance for Social Equity and Public Accountability, ASEPA, has petitioned the Office of the Special Prosecutor to investigate alleged corruption in the enforcement of small-scale mining laws. ASEPA wants the Interministerial Committee Against Illegal Mining and the Anti-Illegal Mining Task Force, Operation Vanguard, to be the focus of the probe by the Special Prosecutor. In the petition, it highlighted the need for full investigations into the misappropriation of seized items such as excavators, mining equipment, gold, and weapons by the IMCIM through the fight against illegal mining. The group said recent allegations of corruption in the fight against illegal mining show that the whole fight against illegal mining was a sham, and the plot to get licensed small-scale miners out of business so that some elements in the government can take over small-scale mining in the country. All right, I want to start with you, Joyce. What's your reaction to these comments?
Thank you very much. Yeah. Once again, let me say good morning to yourself and your crew, and my lost sister and friend. It's been a year now. Well, and let's give thanks to Almighty for giving us life to also live on. It's by grace that we are counted among the living. I can't go on without saying good morning to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, his vice and all his cabinet and people working, and the good people of this country, and also your cherished viewers who have taken time to listen to us. Not that we are the best, but it's also for us to be part of the development and conversation of governance. The fight against galamsey started way back. We know what galamsey, let me say illegal mining, has caused to this country, this nation as a whole. And it started from government to government, the fight against this galamsey, where we have, in fact, I can say that for almost about 3 years, the numerous fall of pits, burying and killing people and things, we don't hear of it for, let me say, the past 2 years or so now. Not to say that has, that is one major, that can be part of the fight against galamsey, but that cannot say that's the whole success story to be told. We know when President Akufo-Addo took the reins of governance, he made it a pledge, he made it a fight that looking at our water bodies, looking at our environment and all those things is going to work against us if we don't rise up to the fight of illegal mining. You look at our water bodies when you travel around the Kede, the Prad, the Bream, just Offain, just mention it. And they are our major source of drinking water. And we know that the very day, like the old school adage goes that when the last tree dies, the last man dies. And water is life. We cannot do away with life. We know those CSO that spoke, who are into this water and I've just forgotten the name, made a prediction that if we are not careful, if we don't preserve our water bodies, if we don't fight seriously against the pollution of our water bodies, by 2020 we're going to import water into this country. That was something that every Ghanaian should have been worried about. And so when the president did the pronouncement of the fight against illegal mining, that's galamsey, I think, let me give credit to the media houses. You all stood up, the fight against, we all saw the way you all moved into the various community towns that the mining were taking place. We've come far, but like we say, in every fight you have standing blocks. I believe the government have done so well, but it is not toward the expectation of all. That one I must admit.
What's the basis of the government has done well? What's your basis for saying that?
You know, where they decide to bring these illegal miners together, take them through training, giving them other skills. You know, the reclaiming of lands was started. They started the reclaiming of lands because you can attest to it that when those illegal miners go out on the field, after extracting the minerals, they leave the pits, and that's where we get people getting drowned. We get people, the pits collapsing when others also go into mine after they have made good use of whatever they went seeking. You understand? So reclaiming of land alone, it's one major achievement. Then after the reclaiming of land, there was this planting to get in fact, go into serious farming on those lands, you understand, where the government also introduced these free seedlings and things, giving skills to some of the miners who are interested, because at least if you stop one person from one activity or income-generating activity, you must provide an alternative for the person. And that was one step the government took, you understand. So I can say that government has done a lot about that. Yet you still have people going in and going behind the scene. There has been counter allegations and things going out. Look, I don't have to sit here and talk plain. I say, whoever is found culpable to this, whoever is an actor to the play of this menace should be dealt with. Period.
Okay.
I don't care who it is, because it is one thing that the president is so passionate about, and we cannot allow few people to take us to ransom.
No matter how powerful they are?
No matter how powerful, even the president is not above the law. You know that. The constitution of this land says even the president is not above the law. So what makes one person powerful beyond every other one? No. When you fall foul to the laws. When you are caught by the law, nothing should let you go. And there's one thing I've always said, that as a Ghanaian, I become so worried that, look, problems happens in our community. You see the opinion leader, the church leader, the chief imam, the imam. Look, every individual moving in because of their status quo in the community. It is having a deep effect on us. We are not able to enforce laws because one person is arrested for one issue or the other. Let me just sweep in this one. You know the rape case that happened in Asin Central also, where the chief got up and said, look, this is my nephew, and for that matter, let's bring the matter home to settle it. Then we weaken our laws. I said, I don't care. Whoever is found to be part or who has perpetrated anything against the state must be dealt with.
Okay, so your comments are interesting because I find it a bit challenging to understand why then has so far nobody who is anyone in authority, even though, for example, the Anas expose showed people involved in the fight against galamsey, or supposed to be involved in the fight against galamsey, specifically Charles Bissiou and others. You know, no one. It seems as though the government has rather shielded people as opposed to letting them face the full rigors of the law.
The announced expose, like you said, when it came out,
Excuse me.
In fact, government moved a step further to make sure that, one, he loses his job at the committee, the mining committee, I've forgotten, yeah. And then, so I don't see why you should say that government has done nothing and shielding him.
Well, you see,
I think...
Here's my view, okay. He's a presidential staffer, which means, yes, we've removed him, but we've still shielded him.
If you still shielded him, I don't understand. In fact, one thing I've always said that, look, every individual has the right to make a case against anyone, if you are not satisfied with the processes that has gone on. Okay. You understand? So we can just trigger it if you think we are not satisfied. If you think the way it was handled was not satisfactory, you can't trigger it. Any other person. I would love to see that happening in this country. And that will get people to set up. That will put government in check. That will put everybody on his or her toes. We can't just let go. So, you are now telling me this.
You watched the Anas expose, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. From what you saw, should Charles Bissue still be in government?
For what I saw, it was two sides of the coin.
Considering Another's position.
I said it is two sides of the coin, depending on where you're standing. He denied that it was a setup. So I am expecting you to say that. Why don't we set up a committee or somebody to a committee, a system to probe further?
We are all about committees in this country.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
When the thing is staring you in the face, you want a committee to be set up to discuss something that we can
and that's
see.
why I said that, look, an individual can raise an issue, make a complaint about it, that you are not satisfied about the outcome of that story. We can trigger it. So we shouldn't say we are at the dead end when nothing can be done. We are not.
All right. Okay, fair enough.
It's still open.
Okay. Thank you. Fair enough. All right. Margaret.
David.
Your thoughts on this matter?
Let me say good morning to you and your team, to your cherished viewers, and to all Ghanaians. And also to congratulate the people of Seshiri. So yesterday, our flag bearer and president in waiting was there with them. We met about...
President in waiting?
Yes. We met about 53 categories of...
That's a new coinage.
President in waiting.
I see.
Yeah, we met about 53 category of people, nurses, unemployed, teachers, people from all sorts of professions. At a round table, the flag bearer interacted with them. We discussed governance and how collectively to move Ghana forward. And I congratulate them for that.
Let's
David.
Respond to
ASEPA petitioning special prosecutor. I believe the issue with galamsey is a national issue. And nobody is going to wear political spectacles here and speak politically. But the most important thing is Ghanaians should hold our leaders accountable. And leaders should also keep promises they made to citizens, especially when they needed power. ASEPA has petitioned special prosecutor, and I think this case is in the domain of the special prosecutor. It deals with offenses such as stealing, bribery, corruption, abuse of power, and other things. And their main evidence was the Mr. Eko Ewusi, the MPP vice chairman for the Central Region, his audio with Professor Frimpong Watson, the Minister for Environment. Yeah. That was their main call for the evidence they provided for the special prosecutor. And they are asking the special prosecutor to investigate, one, where the equipment they seized are, because in the overview of the 2020 budget, the finance minister presented to Parliament, the page, which is in page 801, indicated that they have seized
paragraph 801.
Paragraph 801, thank you. They have seized over 900 excavators. They have arrested and deported over 139 Chinese. They made a lot of revelations there. And we all know that the Operation Vanguard and the Interministerial Committee Against Illegal Mining have been allocated funds, over 200 million Ghana cedi, to reclaim our lands, to engage in tree planting, oil palm plantation, cover the pits, and clean or distill our water bodies, which is a bone of contention now. From your show, I saw a drink that Jifa was holding. I thought it was a drink that I could enjoy, maybe tea, which is full of milk, but not knowing it is the same River Pratt that the finance minister is even talking about in that paragraph 801. So ASEPA is calling for the special prosecutor to investigate. David, first of all, the president said that this fight against galamsey, he will put his presidency on the line. There hadn't been any cause in this country that the media has backed a government unlike the fight against galamsey. We all know that the Operation Vanguard were kept in the forest because there had been a ban, a 2-year ban on mining activities, even legal mining activities. So we expected that after the over 200 million Ghana Citi budgeted to them, by now River Pratt, which serves over 1,660 communities, should be cleaned. When you watch the Citi newsroom documentary by Akwesi Ejay and Nim, it's so disheartening. Very, very disheartening. And we had the Shama District Health Director, Mr. Alfred Osei Esibe, saying that from 2017 to 2019, they have recorded skin diseases, which has it has excavated. It has jumped, doubled from 5,000 cases to 10,000 cases, and still ongoing. Diarrhea cases, it was ranked at third, now it was ranked at sixth, now it's third, 100% increment. Malaria, because of the pits that are not covered, it's breeding mosquitoes. And these are serious issues. River Pratt serves over 1,660 communities. Yeah. And the people said they don't have access to potable drinking water. And this is what they use. The fisherman, one of the news portals, interviewed the fisherman, and he said he used 7 hours to look for fish. And the one that he had is just a handful. David, this is a serious issue, and as you guys said earlier on, we are seated here in Accra. Probably we have access to other sorts of clean water, but let's think about the society, and this is growing. On OKFM, the Western Regional Police Commander was interviewed, and he also said that the situation is worse than before. It means that all this over 200 million fund allocated to Operation Vanguard, Interministerial Committee Against Illegal Mining, ASEPA is asking the special prosecutor to investigate and let us know what they use the money for, because we don't have any evidence of the use of the money. Our water bodies are not clean. So I urge ASEPA as an NGO, and I hope that every ordinary Ghanaian who is so patriotic about this nation will back them and also ask the special prosecutor to do a very good work. On the tape, which was their evidence, we heard John Boedu.
I want you to come back on your thoughts with that one. Okay, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Please don't go anywhere. Let's take a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Remember that the hashtag is Breakfast Day. They keep sending your messages and we'll read them out on air. Then WhatsApp number to send the messages to is 05505885832. In case you happen to be outside the jurisdiction of Ghana, you can use the country code +233. Margaret was making her comments and I'll allow her to finish.
You had to sell, So you have to make money, I understand. So David, in the ASEPA evidence given to Special Prosecutor, we had names as the General Secretary of the ruling MPP government, Mr. John Boedu. We had names like the chairman for the Ashanti region of the MPP. We had names, even the minister himself, Professor Frimpong Boateng, admitting to the fact that he had tasked Mr. Eko Ewusi, the MPP vice chairman of Central Region, to get a concession, mine, and get money for the MPP government. These are serious issues, and the president has put his presidency on the line. And this is a minister that you are supposed to have an oversight responsibility over such matters and bring it down for Ghanaians to appreciate the facts or the reasons why they voted for Nana Addo Dankwa, because he made it a promise that he will put his presidency on the line. What we are seeing now is so devastating. Currently in the Western region, the cost for treating clean water has quadrupled. They are rationing water. David, gradually it will get to us. So we shouldn't think that now it is on the River Pra and we in Accra as we are not safe at all. So ASEPA, I will commend them and I will urge more civil societies to come up with their voices on such call. Maybe the president will listen to them and we will bring the perpetrators to book. If an act of wrong is punished, I believe it will serve as a deterrent to others who are even having like potential people who want to engage in such things. But you know, our brother Charles BC was caught in an act by a way of exposing corruption or wrongdoing that the president, Mr. Akufo-Addo, applauded when he was in opposition. I remember very well when Kwejo Oponkroma asked him a question on IEA, and he said he was going to use the ANAS principle. And fortunately for him, ANAS is still alive to use its principle to fight corruption. And we caught Mr. Charles Bisu in the act. The president told us that two of his appointees are facing corruption, and we don't even have names. If Mr. Bisu is not punished, and even when the presidential team is traveling and he's part of it, for Ghanaians there to go and ask him why he's part of the team and all that, it gives people the nerves to, you know, to do things and feel like they will get away with it. But this is about our water. As Auntie Joyce said, water is life. So please, Mr. President, put your presidency on the line, as you said, and maybe resign and get someone to take over. And let's do the right thing. Because putting your presidency on the line until Ghanaians quarantine the MPP as coronavirus in December 7th, 2020, we cannot entertain Mr. President because the galamsey issue is worse than before. So please, special prosecutor too, I think since the president is interested and has even vowed whether he played a card or something by saying he has put his presidency on the line, he should equip the special prosecutor's office to do this work and he should investigate, and the 900 excavators.
But they've been giving a lot of money, so
I heard him crying foul some time ago. I don't know whether he's received all his budgets, but any government who will bring a special prosecutor as an ombudsman to fight corruption for a nation, your focus should be what they need to fight and fight it for, because that is what the president promised us. He campaigned on fighting corruption, and I think that office, you should have so much interest in it. And also, David, when you listen to the tape, that the minister himself admitting that, in quotes, I want to quote them, that party here sika, and the party that here sika is the MPP party. And I don't know why we should destroy our water bodies to give the MPP government or party money. In any serious country, this party should be banned. You are causing a crime to humanity to make yourself rich.
No, but there are individuals who are doing this. It's not the
but
party that's doing it.
He said party here, Sika. So whether it's individual or not, they are party
so
people.
So those elements
working,
who are doing
and
that.
It's about the party. They mentioned the party general secretary, the chief executive officer of the NPP, Mr. John Wedu. In any serious jurisdiction, this party shouldn't be entertained. So I applaud ASEPA, and I urge all Ghanaians to support that cause. And we are waiting for the special prosecutor also received them nicely and promised to work on it. So we are waiting to hear from him. These are the things that are so, you know, it pertains to Ghanaians where we are interested in. So he should work on it quickly, and let's see how it goes.
Let me quickly correct a
you
statement made by my little sister. That Charles Bisu was part of an interracial
You want to emphasize that?
No. You see, he wasn't. He had made his private trip to UK, and then there was a program, and he attended.
Okay.
So there are two different things.
Because I heard Ghanaian asking why.
Oh yes, the gentleman asked, but he was not part of the government delegation.
I'm hearing it from you for the first time. And thanks for the correction.
All right, okay. Shall we proceed?
Okay.
Let's delve into the next topic. We want to talk about corruption perception, and you know, there's a lot of back and forth, and we are in the political season now, so it's to be expected. Right now, former Minister of Communication, Dr. Edward Omane Boamah says that former President John Mahama's performance in the fight against corruption in this country was much better than Akufo-Addo's current efforts. Okay, so I'm going to read the story. And it says here referring to the most recent report on the Global Corruption Perception Index, he indicated that the Akufo-Addo government has performed poorly in addressing corruption when compared to the NDC anti-graft fight in 4 years under Mahama. Ghana ranked 80 out of 180 countries in the 2019 Global Corruption Perception Index, according to Transparency International. According to the report, Ghana scored 41 out of a possible clean score of 100, the same score as the previous year, 2018. All right. Dr. Manny Palmer was speaking on Citi TV's The Point of View on Monday, stated that the current government had failed to fulfill its promise of ending corruption during its tenure in office. The MPP, also said they were going to eliminate corruption. The most credible institution which is globally accepted is Transparency International. The worst performance of President Mahama's administration in the Corruption Perception Index is better than the best performance of Akufo-Addo. When you talk about the elimination of corruption, especially in the procurement of goods and services, etc., that one too, they have not been able to achieve it. I'm going to come to you, start with you, Margaret.
Yeah.
Is this what NDC really believes?
Thank you, David.
I mean, I know those are Dr. Manny Palmer's comments, but is this what the party actually believes?
That is what even Ghanaians believe. The Corruption Perception Index is there for everybody to see. You can Google it from the year 2013 to the year 2019. In 2013, Ghana scored 46. In 2014, Ghana scored 48. In 2015, Ghana scored 47.
Yes.
In 2016, Ghana scored 43. And we left par. Nana Addo took over 2017, January. He scored 40. 2018, he scored 41. 2019, he scored 41, which is his best.
Okay.
And even the Transparency International is urging this current government to check his abuse of incumbency so that the report in 2020 doesn't worsen.
Okay.
So it is a general thing that Ghanaians have seen. There are several reports on corruption and stuff.
All right, let's take a look at a copy that we have of the Corruption Perception Index,
Okay.
and then let's take a look at what we have there. Okay, so there we have it. If you look at it there in 2019, so the values are there, 41%. It was 41% again in 2018. Earlier on in 2017, it was 40, and then in 2016 was 43, and then 47 in 2015. 2014 was 48, and so on. It's just, since 2009, we've had these coming in, and as you can see on there, we sort of ranged between 39 and about 48. I think the highest was the highest value that we have there is 48. So that was in 2014.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So that was, as you said, the highest in 2014 under President Mahama. So Dr. Omane Boamah is airing the views of the ordinary Ghanaian who is prepared and ready to change power. Because Nana Addo campaigned on corruption, that he will not entertain corruption. He touted President Mahama is corrupt. And we are in 3 years now. I don't know what corruption evidence he has against President Mahama. But look at the number of corrupt cases under this government. Ameridale, Charles Bisu issue, the analysis principle that the president believes in.
Yeah.
Look at the number 12, a principle that the president believes in, where we had Kwaku Sakyi saying that the whole Ghana Jubilee House, you can buy it with $9 million. Give the president $5 million. Give the vice $3 million. Give Asenso, the deputy chief of staff, $1 million. To the extent of going beyond this thing and saying that the president is in his pocket. What happened to it? Ghanaians are surprised. Okay. They are overwhelmed at the rates of corruption under this government.
I have a question for you.
And you see, President Mahama, during his term, Victoria Hammer, just at a mere wish of proclamation, she was sacked. Madame Chifa Ativo resigned. Abuga Pele is in prison now. So these are signs.
You are touting your credentials at being able to deal with corruption.
As President
but you
Kufuor
do
said,
realize that President Mahama said the only reason why this was under, during his tenure, the only reason why the perception of corruption was so high was because he was fighting it.
So he was exposing it.
Which means
he fought it.
So why doesn't that same argument work here?
Is he fighting it? The president told us that 2 of his people are facing persecution. Do you know them? As a journalist, David, do you know them? Have you heard of any name? Or anybody at all can come and tell us something without any evidence and we believe?
No, not anybody at all. This is the president.
And do you know the people?
He's fighting it.
Do you know the people? Why? Is it a strategy for war that you can't disclose it? You are fighting corruption and you have 2 of your appointees before the law and you can't mention them. We were in this country where the international communities are telling the president to fight corruption or lose investors. It's evident. We've had the Ghana Anticorruption Coalition by Mr. Harrison Kujo saying that this government is just good at rhetoric, talking, but not fighting corruption. Right. So the president hasn't done anything about it. And the record still persists. We should pray that 2020, before he leaves office, we don't get into something else because he is not doing anything about it. President Mahama fought corruption and the evidence is there. When you go to Nsawam prison, his appointee, a very good friend, is there. Madam Chifa Ativo is there. Victoria Hama, a mere wish. David, wishing. In life, when I was growing up, I knew that if you can even wish to buy an aeroplane because nobody taxed you. A mere wish, Victoria Hama was sacked. This is a president who is ready to fight corruption, unlike Nanado, who is engaging in mere rhetoric. Thank you.
According to Margaret, their president in waiting did better than the current sitting president.
Well,
in fighting corruption.
When it comes to the bride, you have the bride in waiting, you have the lady in waiting. Now, all what they do is to get the bride ready and at any time
so
get the bride.
The one in waiting
the one in waiting, that's what he does. Just prepare and then try to fish out the rough faces and things and wipe them out. So that's what the president in waiting is doing. So I agree with her. He will keep waiting and wait for nowhere to go. Then also back to the main issue. So you saw the way I was looking at my little sister and the way she was just juggling the things up and down. John Dramani Mahama, then president, BBC, let me quote it. I did quote that thing last week here. Mr. President, have you ever received a bribe? As a human being, no. As a president, as John Dramani Mahama. And what did he say? In life, everyone at one stage in life will encounter some form of bribery. But it's about how you are able to control yourself. Then you have then candidate Nana Addo Kwaku, who said, I'm not corrupt, have never been corrupt, and can never be corrupt. Ghanaians, these are true people. I leave it to your own judgment. Now, what is she saying? The 2 people the president made mention of, the Kolebu incident of his 2 deputies, that the issue was given to an individual petition charge and all those things. They were investigated and they were cleared. The president said, look, I have my own 2 deputy chief of staffs. When their issue broke up, I did not step in. We allowed the laws to take its own course and they were cleared. So if my sister is today telling me she doesn't know who those 2 persons are, today I've provided the names to her. So next time, when she
what are the names of the people?
Oh, Francis Asensu, the deputy chief of staff, and Abu Jinapo. You know the Kolebu incident without A+.
That one was an A+ allegation.
That's it. That's what I was just.
But the president
he didn't say prosecution. He said they were giving hearing. They were petitioned before Shraj.
How many years now?
But they've been cleared. Where have you been living?
Clearing agents.
Where have you been living? Fine.
I forgot that.
Proceed.
So, and don't forget, it was not the president who cleared him. Now, the issue about the fight against corruption. Let me take you down memory lane, President Kufuor, for the NPP took the reins of governance in 2001, when he spoke about the zero tolerance of corruption, that he fought so hard, and yet there were issues that came up, and he made the issue. You know, the interesting Adam corruption started from the days of Adam. And that's one thing that has been, in fact, it's been a passionate fight for the president. He's so passionate about fighting the cause of corruption. And I know he's on course, because he said, look, anyone in government who is found corrupt should be dealt with. My sister was mentioning names, and look, let me take you back to the reigns of John Dramani Mahama. You know the famous Efie Ankara issue of the Brazilian thing, where when Efie came and said, oh, can you hold my beloved son, to whom I'm well pleased, and he kept him at the Jubilee House. The Jifa Ativo thing she made mention, the Bas Brandy, you know the case. Very soon she's going to stand trial. The Jifa Ativo, where she herself, during her campaign, made mention of it, that if MPP wastes power, she will be jailed.
I have not heard that.
I actually heard that.
Okay, I haven't heard.
She will be jailed. Jifa Ativo, no other person. What would have led her to voice out those utterances? She knew what to do. Now let me take...
Was it not just political talk?
No.
On her campaign platform?
No. She meant it. She knew what it is. Really? Nobody, you think
but
you
it was
can
a
just...
season of
hold
politics.
it. You think
and
you can
campaigning.
just... Oh, my brother, I am not coming to sit here because it's a campaign season and just come and say things, bandy things around. Why should I? Because posterity will hold you responsible for whatever you say. I said, let me give kudos to Honorable Damboche. He said, look, Joyce, in politics, whatever you jot down today or whatever you say, ask yourself, 5-10 years to come, when you are called to reiterate or defend that case, will you be able to stand up to it? So you need to be very cautious about whatever you say, wherever you find yourself. Just because on political platform you think you can bandy anything around and go scot-free, people are going to hold you accountable. If not today, tomorrow. The issues were there. The Bas Brandy issue was there. And yet, she went out to alter those things. And what do you say? It was just a political season, and so we should push it down the carpet. No. Now, the Vicky Hammer thing. We know she's a good friend of mine. Vicky, I hope you're doing well. We know the things under the carpet. It was not just her saying because she was so she's praying the day she'll get $1 million in her account. There were other things that went into her being hoisted out from her position. That one, we'll leave it to be said tomorrow or some other day.
I want you to just very briefly.
You gave it all the time.
Okay, are you not done?
I'm not done. How can you say I'm done?
Okay, I wanted to ask you to answer a question.
Okay, so you bring the question and I'll
so the question I want to ask you is, I want either of you to give me just one case of corruption that makes you feel that the other side is more corrupt than yourselves.
In fact, we know of the recent Airbus scandal, which is coming up, and it's still there are more to come. We know, as a vice president, when his own president set up a committee, in fact, I've forgotten the first
during
name.
Auntie Mills' time?
Yes,
okay.
When John Dramani Mahama was the vice president,
okay.
When they went to buy the Embraer and then the hangar, they set up a committee made of one Mr. Mafo, Mr. Menu, and then a military officer, I stand to be corrected, the name, the three men were set in the set. You know the famous Marty Amidou statement about this hangar and the Embraer, the corrupt deals that went on. And in fact, last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, in your own station, the senior minister, the majority leader was here, and he gave out facts where the Embraer, the prices, and even the Airbus, when they went to check the prices
website,
on their website and all those things.
But you know the
and then the hangar, the hangar for the aircraft alone, the Embraer, which cost Ghanaian, he brought it and sold it to us at $8 million. Meanwhile, it was costing less than $200,000. And yet, we never saw that hangar too. Then, look, you've asked me, let me just give you another one.
You're on a roll, I can see.
Yes, really. Let me give you.
Okay, give me one more.
Yes. So you have a whole certain vice president who was being investigated. And you think we should let it go? Such a person who could not even stand the test of time when it was made across to him. Have you ever been corrupted? Have you ever been bribed? He danced around it and could not say anything about it.
Okay.
And you think that is okay?
Let me ask you.
And I've told you, President Nana Addo Dankwa, ask him today, even in his sleep, he will tell you, I've never been corrupt.
Okay.
And I will never be corrupt.
Thank you very much. We had a certain vice president, Dr. Boamah, who vigorously campaigned on anti-corruption. He sat on the committee on a very important asset of a nation as ECG. When they were deliberating on selling ECG to PDS, Dr. Boamah sat on this meeting and reduced the bank guarantee to insurance guarantee. What happened in PDS? We lost 190 million from the US. Ken Oforiatta, the finance minister, a document that was intercepted from his office told us the whole PDS deal was a fraudulent thing. To the extent that we lost money, to the extent that the 51% that they shared among themselves, Ken Oforiatta said it was fraud. PDS selling ECG assets to people who did not have the financial muscles, and Dr. Boamah sat in this meeting and even reduced the guarantee from bank to insurance to please who? In the end, what happened to PDS? Shamefully, we had to go back to ECG. Shamefully, where the vice president sat on this and reduced the guarantee from bank guarantee to insurance guarantee, where the conditions were so clear. Who was Dr. Boamah favoring by risking the nation's assets as ECG, giving it to people who did not have the financial muscles, to the extent that even the insurance that we were supposed to purchase, which was 12.5 million, we used ECG money to go and purchase it. The shareholders couldn't have that money. What was Dr. Boamah thinking and doing? The NPP, Ghana have never seen such corrupt government than this Nana Addo government. PDS, they just sold buses to a Metro Mars, a bus that cost $75,000. They sold it $175,000. Look at the increment. Over 200%. Corruption. Nana Akufo-Addo's government is equivalent to corruption. I'm telling you. There is no way you will see an ordinary Ghanaian on the streets and ask him about corruption, and he will forget Nana Addo and Boamah's name.
Okay, let me read a few messages.
And David, please, we are not here to banter who is corrupted. We are talking about developing a nation and looking at a nation's interest.
Well, I mean, we are discussing corruption, and I think it's important to know.
I understand. So
know the perspectives,
leaders should be accountable to what they say. Leaders, Nana Addo said he's not corrupt. It is not about rhetoric.
Okay, I have a few
messages. It's about doing.
We had a
doing.
Thank you.
We had a certain president who
I have some messages here.
That he has lost the fight.
The problem with this government is that they are wasting our resources. The fight against galamsey is more than political issues. This NPP government is a wolf in sheep's clothing. From so many audios, expose tapes, yet nothing is done. It's so sad.
About the corruption index because she made some. From
Fuseni Sani Tuwara from Asamankesi, he says, "Good morning, Mr. Host and your panelists. Mr. Host, this NPP government led by President Nana Akufo-Addo and his ministers are failures. They are not fighting galamsey, but doing galamsey themselves." Good morning, David. Let's stop wearing the partisan spectacles and face realities. Call a spade and not a big spoon. Let's help solve the pressing needs of the good people of Ghana. Ghana doesn't belong to any political party. Well, I agree that it doesn't belong to any political party. I'm not sure why you think I'm wearing political spectacles, though. But thank you for your messages. And I just want to say a big thank you to my guests. Yes, my guests. Are you not my guest? So I want to say a big thank you to my guest. Joyce Zempare.
No, you have it.
A director of communications.
You
with
won't have
NPP.
it.
And then also to Margaret Ansei Magoo, who is a team member of the National Communication Team of the NDC. They are in a very good mood, as you can see. Thank you very much for watching.
Hi there. I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share with all of your friends. This is Breakfast Daily on Citi TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on Citi TV.